Hello, I'm Jerry Fort. How about a story time with Jerry today? I was just thinking about this apartment complex I used to work at. It's been about 4 years ago, something like that. It was a large apartment complex, and excuse me, they had one of those big compactors, that it's huge, like a big roll-off dumpster. They'll roll it off inside the input part of the casing of the big steel compactor, and then they push it up to a big steel plunger, that pushes the stuff into the roll-off. It's interesting how it works. It's of course hydraulic and real strong things. This apartment complex has a real big turnover. They constantly have people moving out, like moving in, moving out every weekend. And then there's just like 300, 400 residents living there. So it's just a very busy compactor. So the groundskeepers, they're busy. They're picking up garbage, and sometimes people don't throw their bags into the compactor. They just lay it beside it or something. So the groundskeepers, got to keep the mess cleaned up. But just to be honest, I grew up a scavenger. I'm always looking in dumpsters, on mostly certain jobs. I would check out the dumpsters and see if anybody threw away anything good, because people were always throwing away good stuff because they don't want to deal with it, or if they're moving and they're going out of state, they don't want to take like refrigerated items, so they will bag it up and they'll put it in the garbage. Over the weekend, while people are all moving out, they'll bring all their garbage down. Sometimes they have big boxes, big cardboard boxes. They'll put it in there into the compactor, and it'll stop it up. It'll make it so that nothing else can go in. So people are, they keep putting it in there, but it's not going over the edge, so that the plunger can push stuff into the roll-off part. So it just keeps backing up, backing up, backing up, and pretty soon the mouth of the entry into the compactor is just full. So people, they open it up and they see the bags right there in their face. They just start laying them on the ground, and then pretty soon you have, probably close to a ton of bags of garbage just piled up in front of the compactor. Just, you got furniture, all kinds of stuff. They'll just bring them down there and just lay it down there. And in the mornings, it was the job of all the staff, that some of the maintenance, the painters, housekeeper, groundskeeper, whatever, to clean it up so it's not a big eyesore all laying around there and stinking and stuff. So what you had to do was you had to open up the door. You had to start pulling all those bags out, pull them all back out, and then you see what the problem is, see what's jamming it up, and then take a long 3x4 or something, just a long board, and sometimes you had to crawl up in there and push something down out of the way so that it's not lodging everything. So get that clear, and then start tossing it back in there. You toss it in there till it's so full you got to compact it, and then you can throw some more in there. But what I would do was, in the mornings, I'd always get there early, and I would go down there and check and see what's there. I always had either a pickup or a van. So what I did was I'd get started on it, and I would take, as I'm picking up the bags, if it's really heavy, I'll kind of tear a hole in it and see what's in there. If it looks like it's just nastiness, I would just throw it up inside there. But I've opened it up and I see, there's like cupboard type stuff, that, just looks like they just filled up a bag full of, cupboard stuff. If it's opened, we don't bother with it. But if it's new stuff, which happens a lot, I'd take it around to the back of the compactor, and I would either set it back there, or if it looks like there might be some stuff in there, like let's just say alcoholic beverages, somebody emptied out the refrigerator, I'd set that bag into my van or in the back of my truck. And sometimes people empty out their their drawers, their throw-all drawers, like miscellaneous type stuff, empty it out in there. If I see like pens and pencils, stuff like that, there's a good chance there might be other stuff in there, like tools or something. So, those, sometimes I'd stick them around the back of the compactor, but a lot of times if I have room, I'll put them into my truck or van. I'd have probably 5 or 6 bags of stuff or more. And what I would do is, a lot of times the housekeeper, which we were kind of friends, we would take, because she had grandchildren, so I'd give her a lot of the toys that we'd find. So we would take them, if we were working into a apartment, a unit by ourselves, I'd take up a bag up there. Sometimes if it's closed too, it's easier. You don't have to worry about it making a mess. Take it upstairs, and we'd open it up on the countertop, and we would start going through it, and we'd split things. Like, let's just say there's 2 brand new boxes of Ritz crackers, brand new boxes. Give her one, I'd take one. Soda pops, split those, stuff like that. A lot of times she didn't really care for the alcoholic beverages, so I got most of those anyway. Yeah, it was interesting how, and then just to see some of the stuff that people threw away was just amazing. Like, really, they didn't want to take this? Why? When I first started my review channel, man, I was getting all kinds of beers to review just out of the garbage alone, and they were still good. They were just emptying out their refrigerators. They'd throw away, half boxes of Budweiser, imports, all kinds of stuff. And I got a lot of stuff. Furniture, I took home lots of furniture, brand new chairs that were still in good shape, stick them in the back of my truck. Back before my mom passed away, she had garage sales all the time, so I would take furniture and I would take some stuff to her, and she'd sell it. Kept her busy, made her a little extra money. Yeah, and then also too, we would, not to do anything with the compactor, but a lot of times people moving out, they'd leave stuff behind. The refrigerators were just full. They didn't even empty them out, and we'd go through them and find a lot of good stuff in there. Cupboards, I'd check the cupboards when they moved out. They'd leave stuff in there. They'd miss things sometimes too. In the top cupboards, they wouldn't get up on something high and look back in there, and there'd be stuff back in there. But I just, I'm a scavenger. I get it from my dad. He's like that. But yeah, and then the apartment complex that I worked at, yeah, before that one, there was, they didn't have a compactor. They had just big dumpsters, and they had like one, 2, 3, 4, like 5 dumpsters. And they would, same thing, they'd throw a lot of stuff in there that I'd just look over, if I saw something, look, I'd have to jump in there. But I was always careful. And then on Wednesdays, that was trash day. That's when the trash man come, and he had one of those ones that had the forks on it that, you know. So I had to, he come early, so when I'd get to work, I'd, boogie on out there, and I'd start checking cans, and sometimes I'd hear him enter the property. I was like, oh, I better hurry, and I had my flashlight, I'd start, walking really, really fast. I'd look real quick. There's something, and I'd, get up on there and kind of pivot my stomach and reach in there and grab something real quick and hide it somewhere, and then go to the next one real quick. And I had to rush on Wednesday mornings. But sometimes I'm like, here he comes. I mean, they don't waste no time when they're dumping them cans. It don't take them much. But sometimes I had to let stuff go because I had to get out of there. They're not going to wait for me to look through it, But, yeah. I just found a lot of stuff. Okay. But there's my story. Hope you all enjoyed it. I don't know if I've ever told the stories before about if I did, it's been a long time ago, about probably it's called dumpster diving or something like that. Okay, well, I thank you all for listening and watching, and I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.